Female blazer jacket with a notch collar. Creative minds, welcome to our jacket variation episode 3. Today we are going to be making a female blazer jacket with a notch collar. And here with me I have my basic bodice draft. If you don't know how to do your basic bodice draft, kindly check our channel right now, DOSEfashions Academy TV. You're going to be finding out to make your basic bodice drafts. So here I have my basic bodice draft without the armhole. It's just the basic bodice draft with all the bodice that I have on it, the shoulder, the bodice, and then the bust that. So right now I'm going to be adding some ease allowance to this. So that is why I've not added the armhole. Ease allowance is added to a blazer jacket simply because it is needed. It is very important to know that you need to add your ease allowance. When drafting a blazer jacket, ease is crucial for all major circumference measurements because it's an outer garment designed for structure, layering, and movements. Okay, so you need to know how to add ease allowance. For all this ease allowance, you're going to be seeing the measurements. I put them in the comment section. You're going to be seeing how to get all the ease allowance, standard measurements for your ease allowance, for your bust, for your waist, for your hip, for your armhole depth. And then your ease allowance are to be added to your circumference measurements before the division. Let's say my bust is 36 inches. And then I'm using ease allowance of 4 inches, 4 plus 36, that is 40, before I'm going to be dividing by 4. Okay, so that is how it is done. So on this basic bodice here, that is here right now, I want to do my armhole right now. So but before I do my armhole, I'm going to be returning the dart that is taking on the shoulder, just like we did on the basic bodice. Like I said, if it's your first time of visiting here, go to our channel right now here, just like you are here now. Just check the video. You're going to be seeing how to make your basic bodice drafts, and you're going to be seeing how these darts are being placed on this basic bodice. So right now I'm going to be putting 1 inch extra for my armhole depth. So this will allow for ease. This will allow for prevent tightness in underarm. It is very, very important. It's a layer. You're going to be putting, you may be wearing shirts under your blazer or anything. So you need to put or to consider all those. So you won't be short of wearing your blazer and you're not comfortable. So right now I'm just going to be rightly contouring my armhole, and then I'm going to be fitting it into the new armhole depth. Your standard armhole depth that you can add for your jacket is between the range of 0.5 inch to about 1 inch. I think that is about 1 cm to 2.5 cm if you're working with centimeter. Mary Adedoyin is my name, and I am the lead fashion store of DOSEfashions Academy, where we help you to give your creativity expressions. That simple, detailed, and timely classes. We teach at your own space. You can learn with DOSEfashions Academy. You can always reach out to us. And if it's your first time of visiting this channel, you can see that you have amazing video content here. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you always get notified anytime we upload new video tutorial. So continue with this tutorial as you enjoy yourself. So right now I'm going to be putting my circumference measurements in all this right now. So your circumference measurements, you know that we have to be dividing there by 4. So you need your shoulder, your bust, your waist, and then your hip. After adding all your ease allowance, then on your waist, don't forget that when you take your darts, you also return back your darts. So every dart you take on your bodies, you make sure you return them back, and then you put your measurements with your. Then you're now going to be determining the seam allowance you want. But for this jacket, I'm just going to be using a 1 inch seam allowance. So each seam allowance is different from ease allowance. Ease allowance is added for movements of the body and comfort. It is added in your measurements before the division. While the seam allowance, that is what you're going to be plotting on your pattern after you might have put your measurement. So you are going to now say, okay, I'm going to be having a seam allowance of 2 inches or 1 inch or half an inch. So it depends on you. But ease allowance is added in your measurements before it's divided. So for the jacket right now, so that is what we have over here, and that is how I have my seam allowance, and then my ease allowance has been added in my measurements, and then my seam allowance is just 1 inch I'm using. So right now we have our front and we have our back. So what we are going to be doing next is to do the notch of the front. So if you notice here, you're going to be seeing that there is extra allowance on the center front. and on the upper part of the pattern paper. So if you didn't put it before, you can just add extra paper and then you use your tape or your gum to just tape it there. So we put this so that we are going to be using it for a notch collar. Now we are going to be adding a notch collar to this jacket. So then you're going to go ahead now and extend your neckline at the shoulder break there. That is your neckline when it's divided by, you have the 3x3 neckline over there. That is bust circumference divided by 12 to get your neckline. So now extend that line over there. You see the way it's extended? So it is extend the same way I place my pattern master oil. Don't use just a straight ruler. So just that's the direction you're going to be using it. Then you're now going to be determining the break point. Where is your break point? Is it your underbust? Is it on your bust? Is it on your waist? That is where you want your button to be. If you are using 2 buttons, you know where to start and where to stop. But for this project, it is just a 1 button blazer jacket, and the break point is going to be on the waistline. Perfect. So now that you have determined your waist point and then your break point, and then you extend the line to meet your neckline. So we have it there. So the next thing we want to do is to now create our notch. So in order for us to create our notch, we're going to be extending the neckline line over there. We're not going to be using a straight ruler, just the curve too. So just make sure that the curve continues. Use your curve, continue your curve in that direction. Don't go out straight. And you can use 3, and then you can say I want 2.5. All depends on what you want. That is the wideness of your blazer. That is when the lapel, the wideness of the notch of the collar. So it is what you just going to determine what you're putting there. So here I just extend by 2.5, and then I'm going to be creating a notch. I'm just going to be using about 1.5 inch. 1.5 is removed out of the 2.5 over there. So I moved 1.5 out of the 2.5. It is 1.5 I use for the notch over there. And then look at the way I'm placing my pattern master in that direction. So it goes in that angle, not straight, please, because it's a notch collar, right? So you have to have that shape and the feeling. So right now, after doing that, so you're just going to be confirming your measurements. Now go and check your back measurements. That is your neckline back measurements. Not into the zipper allowance or any allowance you added. It is the basic measurements you have there. And then mine is 3.25. So that is what you're going to be putting on the line that is extended on the neckline break over there. So that is for your back. Okay, great. So then you're going to be marking it over there. So after marking that, then you want to connect. Then you're going to be determining the wideness of your collar at the back. Okay, so if it's 6 you want, if it's 4, it depends. So for this, it is 4 inches. You can see the way I'm placing my pattern master. So it is in that direction. So go in that angle, okay? So then you are here, I'm using 4.5. So that is 4 inches when I folded. So half an inch is going to be going to the stitching by the time I stitch it onto the neckline over there. So it is 4 inches. So it's now going to be on fold. So it's now going to be 2 inches folded at the back, right? So if you want lesser than that, you can do that. If you want more than that, you can do that. Go ahead and put it. So right now, the notch that I notch over there about 1.5, I'm going to be putting it on this particular one, the line that is drill up 1.5 in that angle. Yes, exactly. Whatever you put there, you put there. If it is 2 inches, you also put it there. So they will be even, they are aligned. And then you connect to your collar width that you have placed on top before, which is about 4.5 that I used for this. And then the next thing we want to do here is to now connect it, the neckline extension down to the break point, right? Amazing. So that is exactly what we have over there right now. So that is because it is it's a precise it's a shoulder seam, so we are going to be splitting this into 2. So on bust palm, I'm also going to be putting it there as my nipple to nipple distance divided by 2, and then I'm directly placing it on my jacket length over there, and then I'm going to be extending. We have the center and then we have the side. So it's not just the fisheye darts we are using, or the contour darts. So it is so it's going to be cut into 2 parts. It is a princess seam, shoulder princess seam. So you go ahead and label your center front and your side fronts. That is not center back. It's a label mistake over there. And then I'm going to be correcting it right now. Exactly. That is side front, not center back. Like I said, if it's your first time of visiting the channel, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. So right now, I'm just going to go ahead now, and then we're going to be cutting this. So in cutting, then we're going to be closing the bust that for this project. So the same thing you're doing for the front is the same thing you're also going to be doing for the back. The back also is going to be cut into two, except you are working with except you want to just have your fisheye darts, that is your double pointed darts at the back. You don't want a princess seam, but for the sake of this project, I repeat again, it is a princess seam, which is a shoulder princess seam that we are working with over here, and that is what we're doing. So now you're going to be connecting. So let me fold this paper so that I can show you what I want to do on my back, and you can see it very well. So for this, I added one hinge at the center back. The one hinge, it's not for zipper allowance, no zipper, right? It is for the stitching of the joining of the back. And then we're also going to be contouring, same way we contour for zipper, going in by half an inch, and then you contour, you blend it into the line. Okay, so after taking your half an inch, blend it in. It's the same process we are doing when we are also doing our zipper for the center back. But this time around, it's not zipper. It is the line we're going to be stitching on the center back. So, but we also need to do this. So your back will lay flat, and then nothing will be bulk around the back. It will just sit well and relax on your body, just like what you want for the results. So you also go ahead and also repeat the same thing by continuing with the line, extend the line, because we're going to be cutting it into two. It's going to be now into two, the center back and then the side back. Female blazer jacket is a timeless structured piece that can be styled for both formal and casual settings. The key features of a female blazer jacket is structured shoulder. Just like we are working with this is a shoulder princess, that your shoulder, it may have a shoulder pad because it's one of the feature. It may be a notch or a big lapel, fitted waist with that, or princess seam. So irrespective of you even padding his allowance, you should still consider and put into consideration that your waist, you keep your waist shape but relax. Okay, so when you even add with allowance, so I extend my line to meet my shoulder over them. That is what I did. So I also aligned some of my lines so that you're going to be seeing them very well. So like I said, there'll be center back, there'll be side back. So it's going to now be into two aspects. Okay, so it's going to be into aspects, so it is a princess seam. So part of the feature is also single breasted or double breasted, but here is a single breasted. So if you want a double breasted and want to know how it's done, there's a video on this channel that's explain detailed how a single breasted is done, and also we also explain how the notch collar is done too on the video. You can also watch that to see that as well. Okay, so and then the button closure, the pocket is maybe a welt, flap or patch, depends on what you want. So lined interior for professional finish, just leave it or slits, optional, depends on you. So right now, let us bring out our project from other excess paper, right? So you're going to be doing, so everything will now be two pieces, including your lining and this. So we're going to be cutting this out from the paper to have just this for our project. If you want to join the swing class for this project, for this jacket series, you can message us. You can drop a comment section or send us message at DOSEfashions1@gmail.com. We'll be there to guide you step by step in how to make this jacket in a fitted way and a professional way. So right now I'm cutting and then I'm removing. You can see that I've already moved my armhole too, and then I'm bringing out this blazer jacket from the body. So look at you can see the notch collar there. So you can see how it's cut. Okay, so be careful with the cutting, so take your time. So right now I'm just going to shape that out. Okay, great, amazing. So you see the neckline that was extended earlier on, that I wasn't really showing, that you didn't see very well. You can see, so that is why I'm putting it there, that that is my collar for the back, and it's going to be folded. It's going to be cut on fold. So when I want to cut on my pattern, on my fabric, now I'm just going to be cut on fold, and then it's going to be folded by the time we now cut. That's why it's 4. So that is why it's now going to be 2 inches at the back when you now have it at the back. Okay, so you can see That is like what it's going to be looking like. Look at it. Amazing. Interesting. So this is it. So this is what it's going to be looking like. So next time, so you can see, and then you can see, so that is how it's going to be looking like. Amazing. So that is it. So right now we're just going to now close the bust dart. We don't need the bust dart for this project. And then we slit the shoulder dart. We open the shoulder dart to close the bust dart. So open the shoulder dart, close the bust dart. So since we are using the shoulder seam for this, so we close the bust dart and it's just seam. So the bust dart is closed. We are now going to be removing all other darts that is in this project. Then we separate this into two. So now let's remove out the excess and cut out the darts. So we then have our project. So you're going to be cutting two pieces again. I'm going putting again 2 pieces of the center front, 2 pieces of the side front. Same thing for your lining, 2 pieces, 2 pieces. But when you want to cut, remember to add seam allowance, the stitching allowance to the dart area, so you won't short the dart. Do you get it? But this is this is looking so amazing. Interesting, right? Exactly. So don't forget to notch your bust line area. The same thing you're going to be doing when you're cutting your fabric, so that your bust line will align by the time you are joining them together. Absolutely beautiful. Now let's do that of the back as well, just like we have done the front. So we're just going to be treating the back the same way, and then we're bringing it out from the body and then from the paper, the project, and then we also cut all the style lines on this project. If you have been visiting this channel and you have been using every of our video tutorials, don't forget to always tag us along. Share your experience with us, share your projects with us. We love to hear from you. And please like and comment. When you comment, it also have a way of encouraging us. Let us know if there is any tutorial you will love us to bring on this channel, we bring it on. And if there is a class that you would love to have with us, do let us know. All we do at DOSEfashions Academy is to help you give your creativity expressions with our sewing, craft, pattern making classes. Any classes you want at all, let us know. If there is any particular project you would love us to bring on this channel, drop it in the comment section, or you message us on dosefashions1@gmail.com. Anywhere on our social media handles, it is DOSEfashions Academy. You're going to be finding us there. Tag us along in your results. We love to see. We love to hear from you. We'll be happy to see your results. We'll be happy to see your growth. Thank you so much for being here. And I hope you have an amazing time watching this. So now we have our back. Amazing. 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 This is looking so amazing. You can imagine you bringing out a beautiful fabric and making that blazer jacket with this pattern. Oh my God, it's going to be so fitted on you and it's going to be looking so amazing. Now is the time to make your blazer jackets. Now is the time. So bring out your fabric and then you cut. Reach out to us and we guide you on how to go about the sewing classes. And please watch out for the next episode. You don't want to miss it, I tell you. You don't want to miss the next episode of our jacket variations. And this is the 3rd episode. If you have missed the 1st and the 2nd, go to the channel right now and view it. It is bolero and a coat vest. Beautiful. So you make your coat vest and then you come and make your blazer complete. You have your complete pieces for your jacket. Beautiful. Beautiful. So creative minds, thank you so much. Share your results with us, share your practicals with us. We love to see what you've drafted. See you all in our next video tutorial. For now, bye.